Well, the US has introduced new guidelines for H1B visa holders. Let me take you through the options one has in order to allow them to stay beyond the 60-day grace period.
So what are the 5 ways in which you can actually legally stay in the United States even though your OPT is over, your H1B application attempts are over, you don't have any way of moving forward? What do you do? Stick around till the end of this video. You're gonna learn a lot from my own experiences, from experiences of students that I've been advising and addressing through my company, and you'll know how to actually navigate such a complex environment of immigration. Stick around, guys. Hey guys, hi, this is Ashish Fernando and welcome back to my channel. For students around the globe, for institutions, and for everybody who's interested in studying abroad, going for your education to countries across the world, this is your place to feel wanted, to get all your answers, and to learn more as we go forward into this wonderful time where international education has become easier than it ever was. What are we talking about today? Today we're talking about a lot of you students who actually had your last opportunity to get your H1B visa. You applied for your work visa and for some reason it did not go through. Either because you were unlucky, because A, it depends a lot on a lottery system. That's just how the United States is set up. Unfortunately, everything is based on a lottery system. But a lot of us think, why? Why is there a lottery? This is so unfair. I should be given an H1B or a work visa based on what I'm capable of, what I can do. But we got to understand the other side of the story. The US is actually, in my opinion, my humble opinion, it's actually one of the nicest countries when it comes to their immigration policy. They accept over 1 million people each year into this country, believe it or not. Even though we feel like, oh my God, the regulations are so strict and immigration is so hard here, but it's for the right reason. Everybody wants to be here, right? If you think of it, most of you who are watching this video, you want to be in the US, right? Compared to Canada, UK, Australia. They're great countries, great places to study, great places to find a job, but you want to be in the United States. And therefore, we feel like it's such a strict regulation, strict immigration policy. It is, but for the right reason. But they also allow a lot of students to come in. So then what happened to all of you who applied for an H1B and did not get through? Sad. But don't worry, there's always hope. The US, like everybody says, is the land of opportunity. There are ways to do it. You, of course, have to look for the legal way to do things in this country, be it study, be it work, and it applies to any country. But in the US, if you are caught doing anything illegal, which I see a lot of students doing nowadays, a lot of agencies that they're working with, they're trying to engage themselves in practices that are at best shady. So honestly, I would not recommend you guys to be thinking anywhere outside the box when it comes to immigration, when it comes to status. Think within the box. But look inside the box, guys. There are so many different ways. So let's start by saying, what are the reasons why students get rejected or cannot make it through the H1B quota? So the H1B, as you all know, is a work visa. And it's typically what you should be getting right after your F1 visa, right? F1 student visa. So when you go for an H1B visa application, it has to be typically done by your employer. And there are certain other rules around it. You can like self-sponsor. I wouldn't get into all of those nitty-gritties right now. Most of us who come here as students on an F1 visa want to then transfer to an H1B visa through an employer. You need a sponsor. And the number one reason for not getting an H1B visa is, hey, nobody applied for me, right? So what do I do next? Then the next is the next option that the next reason that people get rejected on their H1B visa is because they did not get picked up on the lottery, right? And that's a hard one because you have an employer, you got a job, you're getting paid, but you didn't get picked up on the lottery, and it's sad. Yes, it is, and that's just how it is supposed to be, unfortunately, because you have a visa quota of about 60,000 H1Bs that are given out by the United States, and then there's a separate 20,000 visas, H1B visas, that are separated out and given only to students who complete their graduation, their study in this country. And if you're not one of those people, then you have to be within the 60,000 quota. If you're one of those, then you have an 80,000 quota, which is 60 plus the 20. That's for you because you're special. You're considered special by this country, right? So we'll give that an applause. I got this new system. It's pretty cool. Okay, stop. So now what do we do next? Right? We don't have the visa. We're rejected. We feel rejected. We're not rejected, but we feel rejected. Guys, trust me, I know this really well because I know how it feels really well. Because when I came to this country, I got my MBA. I had one shot at applying for my H1B visa. One shot. Because I did not have STEM, right? So I got 1 year of OPT, and I know there's a lot of you who are in this situation right now where you have your OPT is over. You either have a 1 year OPT that's over or 3 years OPT if you're a STEM graduate, and even that is over. And what do you do? It's hard. All right, guys, the first way in which you can stay in this country, and remember, I only talk about staying in this country legally and how the US immigration policy allows you to do it, is you can actually go back to study. Now, yeah, some of you must be thinking, what do you mean, Ashish? What do you mean I go back to study? Yeah, if you are, let's say you are in a bachelor's program and you were looking for a job and you got a job, but now, it didn't go through and your H1B application is stuck or did not get picked up. It's okay. You can still do a master's degree. There's still ways to augment it. If you have a master's degree, maybe you need an MBA. I don't know. But like I have a double master's degree, not because I wanted to just collect master's degrees and just do nothing with it and go crickets like that. See, I got a cricket sound. But no, I actually wanted to get my master's because I wanted to learn the skill set, and then I wanted to do my business degree because I wanted to take all of that skill set that I learned to the real world and actually sell it and start my own company and all of those things. So getting into another program, if it really means something meaningful for you, is not a bad idea. And that is the number one way to tackle this situation. All right, so option number 2. Become a dependent. If you can get on a dependent visa with somebody, let's say you're married and your spouse is here, or you get married here, surprise, then you can be on a dependent visa. That's another way of maintaining your legal status in this country. Now, of course, you cannot just say, oh yeah, I just want to randomly become a dependent of a random person on the street. No, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, you have to be dependent only to somebody you can officially be a dependent. All right, awesome. Third, number 3, find an H1B Cap-exempt employer. What does that mean? An H1B Cap-exempt employer is an employer basically who could be a not-for-profit, an educational institution, an NGO. There's a lot of different agencies that are exempt from the H1B cap because they are not-for-profit, or there can be multiple other reasons. So that's another way for you to tackle it. Now, can you just go to an NGO and say, oh, hey, I'll work for you for free and you give me an H1B visa because I want to stay in this country, I'll do your work for free? No, doesn't really work. And why it doesn't work? Because the US has the concept of something called prevailing wages. And the prevailing wage limit is basically something that they look at very carefully. And if you're an H1B employee, and an employer, be it for profit, not for profit, is applying for your H1B, they have to pay you the prevailing wage. And it makes sense. A lot of people think, oh my God, this is so unjust. Why do they have to do that when they can hire Americans at whatever price point? No, it's because it makes sense. Otherwise, a lot of people will come from other countries and then reduce the overall ability for people to make money in this country, because employers will start paying less. So that's why that cap exists, and employers have to be very careful of making sure that they're paying prevailing wages to their employees. So you have to be very careful when you exercise option number 3. So option number 4. Option number 4 is an O visa. An O visa is a separate category of visa that you can actually get if you prove to USCIS that you are worthy of being here, starting your own company, you're entrepreneurial. There are different ways in which an O visa can be applied for. You have to look at those details in the link and in the description below. You'll find a lot of details there. If you qualify for an O visa, fantastic. Why not? Do it. And that's probably your 4 options that exist in life otherwise. But one last thing, there is always an option to talk to us. Please talk to us. It's interesting that a lot of students come here, and even with all these options available, they think that an H1B visa, a work visa, is the be-all, end-all. But there are so many legal and fruitful ways that this country allows students to continue their legal status in the country. Some of them, of course, require you to be spending some money and moving forward. Some of those methods that are possible potentially also allow you to make money. So it's really something that you should be thinking about. Leave us your comments and we will reply back to you. Reach out to me as well. I'm here to help you. This is what I've been doing for the last 6 years, is helping students understand how to navigate such complex immigration environments without actually blaming the immigration environment. It's a perfectly built immigration environment with some imperfections. There are always imperfections. You can never get it right. But, trust me, living in the United States for about 10 years now, came here as a student, got my H1B, came here on an F1 visa, got my green card, started my company. And honestly, it's been the best experience. And I would love for all of you to experience the same, be it working for a flagship enterprise in the United States, starting your own business, so many other things that you can do. Please connect with us, and we would love to add you to our group. Or we have a WhatsApp group where we discuss a lot of these things, and we help a lot of students move forward with their dreams in the United States.